we've just finished getting everything set up for today's drop. So the main drops for today's live, should I mention, are some massive updates that have happened on social media the past couple of weeks now. The first two I am suspecting are things that people aren't too aware of. They're not really got that much publicity at the moment. Maybe I'm just that quick with it. And then number three is huge. It's fucking huge. Like, I feel this is going to be the talk of the industry for the next couple of months whilst everybody's testing everything out and finding out exactly where the platform in question wants to go with it. So we'll jump straight into those and obviously how you guys can use them to, you know, grow your audience, grow your customer base, start using them to actually sell to your customers, stay relevant, jumping on the hottest trends and the hottest platforms as it seems at the moment, which is massive. So I just start off by saying I'm Callum Richards. These are my lives where I basically drop to you guys all the social media marketing news, you know, the new tools that are dropping, new platforms, what's happening on every platform. Just so, as I mentioned, if you guys are managing your social medias and you're looking for ways to grow, to get more clients, to bring in more organic leads, as well as a couple of tips on the ad side of things as well, what new platforms you can be testing out to get in front of those customers. This is exactly what these lives are designed for. So I'm going to jump straight into the first topic, which is basically live shopping isn't something of the future. It is here today. It is already being used. So a company, don't know if you guys will be aware of them, called ASOS, rolled out ASOS Live, which is basically letting creators host shoppable video events right inside their app. I mean, a shopping. I haven't put my camera. Usually I have my camera on this side, and I put it on this side today for some reason. And I'm having a fuff with it because as I'm trying to look, I'm realising I'm off-centering myself. So I want to try and keep myself here, look here, talk here, and have the whole shebang. But then I lean as well. So as soon as I lean, I come off of it. There we go. Now we can. Now I'm happy. I'm happy with it. But yeah, so ASOS Live have ultimately launched their own, almost like their own in-house platform. So I don't know any sort of shopping or fashion advice people. How's it going, Levy? You're all. Any people that are in the fashion niche, this should be something that you're jumping on straight away. Now, personally, I've not had too much of a play with ASOS Live at the moment. I've not gone in and checked it out. It's just an article, again, I was reading earlier today to see exactly what's going on. How's it going, Praveen? To find out how people are using it, to find out what sort of creators, I'm from Birmingham, England, what sort of creators and what sort of businesses, what sort of brands are going to benefit most from this, because I mean, this is crazy. This is an in-house app, an in-house social media platform by a brand. I mean, how? And I'm already the only one who finds that mental, that like a clothing brand is ultimately setting up its own in-house platform. Just want to give a couple of shout outs. How's it going, Praveen? How's it going, Levy? How's it going, Psychological Facts? Dropping facts right there. Levy dropping 6'7". I tell you what, I kept getting mentions of that meme, like, oh, you should do a video on this, and I could not for the life of me work out what it was, and I still don't really know what it is. I just know people going mental for 6'7". I have questions. Yeah, Maya, welcome to the chat. Shoot any questions that you have throughout the entirety of this live. They're usually for around about 25 to 30 minutes. If you hear ticking in the background, don't worry, I'm safe. It's my oven because I'm cooking food as well, because I'm multitasker like that. So don't worry, I am perfectly safe. Just really on me. Yeah, I've seen a couple of it. I went to look to see how I could flip it for one of my clients and also for my own content. And then I stumbled across it by accident, literally going through TikTok. I stumbled across like 6'7". I thought, oh, it is literally. So maybe we keep saying 6'7", we might get used in a meme. I don't know. I don't really. I couldn't find a way to flip it because my clients had nothing to do with 6'7", and I had nothing to do with. I've got nothing to do with 6'7" either. So there was no way of me flipping it. So I just dropped that one, to be completely honest. So yeah, so as I was mentioning, guys, I don't know if any of you have checked it out, of ASOS dropping this this ASOS Live. I need to try and get my words out with it. It's massive, as I say, for, doesn't mean anything, just funny. Best memes are just funny, aren't they? That's the thing. It's for fashion and lifestyle brands, so that can sort of merge to make this sort of entertainment / e-commerce native sort of progression. So, as I mentioned, I've not got any clients currently within the fashion space. However, I do know that if you're a designer store, I know a lot of those tend to be independently looked after or independently owned. Any designer stores, shoe stores, that sort of thing, it's definitely going to be worth checking out, jumping on, having a little play with. I'm going to have a little jump on it now that I've mentioned it in the logo, because I feel like I should have a little bit more to say on the matter than just dropping it as news. I want to be able to give a bit more. I'm cooking fish and rice because I got to be a little bit healthier this week, so I thought I'd go for nice, easy fish and rice. Leave it on in the background. I'll have that once I'm finished. Once I'm finished with the lower, hopefully I'll time it perfect. So a couple of quick wins, couple of ways that the brands can start using it. I'm a research. So let me just mention this. I'm gonna keep you there so I don't lose it. And Maya, I will answer your question. Let me just finish on the ASOS logo. So a couple of ways you guys can start experimenting with sort of shoppable formats. You know, like TikTok Shop's been doing it for ages. This ASOS logo is now, if realistically they're going onto this app, they're gonna have in their head that they're buying something, or they want to see somebody wearing something, or they want to see how somebody does their shopping, how they put together an outfit. So there's a lot of designer sort of stores that you see out there, a lot of brands on, especially Instagram, that literally create outfits. So they'll, you know, create a swipe post on an outfit, or a single image post, or even a reel that shows an outfit and a breakdown. With this ASOS logo, integrating that and bringing it into your content is going to be huge. I am going to pin this 2 seconds. I'm going to pin this onto my, because I want to just see exactly what it is. I don't know if you're walking around with them shopping. I just know this is the first fashion store that I'm aware of to bring sort of like an in-house app and take it live. I'd love to see how many other apps are going to be doing this. You know, could we see the likes of Amazon doing it? Could we see the likes of Tesla doing it? Can we see them having their own in-house apps where they're live, they're showing products on a 24/7 basis, they've got influencers going in there and checking it out? It'd be great to see, and it will also be quite good for the e-com owners that are within the fashion niche to see what people are saying about certain products, whether they like it, whether they don't like it. If they don't like it, what don't they like about it? What can you apply to your product? How can you improve your product? So that you could ultimately jump into this platform and say, look, if you don't like this, I've changed this and this, let's go. Plug, shameless. Be shameless when you're plugging, be shameless when you're promoting yourself, when you're pushing your services out there, especially in the beginning, because why wouldn't you? So I think there's a lot of ways this ASOS logo can be used, especially within the e-com space and any local businesses that are also within the fashion space as well. So definitely keep an eye out, and I'll get a little bit more intel on this. Right to the questions. Maya, thank you, gentlemen. I'm a researcher about genetics and will move to the UK for an internship in PhD position. Congratulations, brilliant. Could you please tell me about the people of the UK, because I'm excited. So I'd love to know whereabouts in the UK are you going to be moving. Personally, I've never had any major issues. I'm from Birmingham, so I've never had any major issues. I grew up foreign. I've never had, you know, any. I'm jinxing myself here, so I don't want to say it too much. There are, like every other country, there are certain areas you want to avoid. There are certain areas that are really nice. So just let me know a little bit further down in the chat, mate, if you're still here. Whereabouts in the UK are you going to be moving? But of course, congratulations, because I'm betting you had to work very hard to get that position, to get the PhD, and that's brilliant. Levy, where do you live in the UK? I live in Birmingham. I don't live in the UK. I'm from Asia. Phono, what's up? Cool stream. Thank you. I appreciate it. Devi, yeah, so as I mentioned, I'm from Birmingham. That's where I live. I've been to a couple of different places in the UK. No problem, mate. As I say, if you mention whereabouts you're gonna be moving to, or where your course is gonna be based, I can give you a little bit more information. Or I can only really speak on Birmingham and a couple, you know, Manchester again, similar sort of thing as Birmingham. London's a little bit more sort of dangerous. I was in Birmingham yesterday. Hey, X-War, how's it going? Where did you visit in Birmingham, man? Was it any good? Was it good for you to go straight to the Bullring, Grand Central, City Centre, that sort of thing, or a bit further on the outskirts? So yeah, so I don't buy this thing of the UK is absolutely terrible. I know it's took its knocks over the past couple of years, and I'm not saying it's. I appreciate that, mate. Thank you. I appreciate the sub. Have you ever been to Plymouth? I think that's quite that Alum Rock. I ain't saying a word, mate. I ain't saying a word. But Alum Rock. Nah, it's not that bad. I don't know if it's that bad. But funny, have you ever been to Plymouth? I don't think so. I think I went there a couple of times for like work, so it wasn't. I didn't get to see much of the place. It's sort of go in. I used to work on pubs, so you sort of go in, crack on with the work, and 9 times out of 10, when we went to like the north, south coastal places, it'd be on a Friday. So as soon as you finished at like 1, 2 o'clock, it was like, right, get in the bank, go. Because anywhere down south, you're talking like 2, 3, 4 hours from Birmingham, because we're literally in the Midlands, aren't we? So, but I'd like to potentially see Plymouth. What are your is it Phono? Saw 2 police chases, yeah. That's a good day, mate. That's a good day. Alum Rock, 2 police chases on a that's not too bad. It's because it was a Sunday. It's quiet there. You go down a Friday night, you've got no chance. Can I find any social media friends here, please? So, again, with that, man, the best thing to do is wherever you're going to be, Birmingham is mission. Wherever you're going to be moving to, it'd be good to sort of join some sort of communities. I'd imagine if you're going to do a course, you'll be in some sort of community base there. There'll be like WhatsApp groups that you can join, or, you know, if you check Instagram, Facebook, there'll be local things that you can go to. And then I'd always recommend going to like a physical place. So say, for example, if you're going to be going to, let's say London, just to make it easier, there'll be community events that you can go to in London. There might be a church that's local. I don't know if you're religious, but those sorts of places where you can go to and you'll get to speak to people, and it'll be good to find out. You think Alum Rock is bad? Guess where I am tonight, Luton. X-War, you're on one, you are, aren't you, man? You're going to all these lovely places. So, all right, guys, I'm going to pause the chat for a second whilst I move on to the next one, which is Google's AI and video search evolution. So, Google basically wants to be the new TikTok. So, what's going to be happening moving forward, and what they're testing is putting a lot more video, short form video responses in their search bar. So when you're searching for a certain topic, if you're being clever with your content, which I had advised last week, but I'll touch on it again this week, is making your content keyword heavy, making sure that your content has got all relevant keywords, it's optimized for SEO and for another time GEO, which is the search bar within the ChatGPT sector. This way, when you're making a video, for example, what they're starting to do now is they're starting to actually transcribe the videos, or they've been transcribing the videos, should I say. So whatever words you're mentioning, so within the first couple of seconds or throughout the duration of the video, that's also going to contribute to your SEO. Then you've got the captions as well. So captions, I know we used to all see on Instagram especially a mountain of hashtags. Like I'm talking 50, 60, as many hashtags as you could fit in that caption. You'd say, dead man, dead. Yeah, the best thing you can do is actually use it to sort of write an engaging caption that is still keyword optimal. So you could see it like a mini article ultimately. So whatever content topics you're touching on, so say if I'm speaking about ChatGPT, or we might then move into the caption, or, you know, have a CTA at the end of the video and say, read the caption if you'd like to know more about this. And from there, you would then go on to have sort of like a mini article. You might include a couple of prompts, making sure that, again, they're keyword heavy. So if somebody searches, I mean, if you search ChatGPT, the chances are you're going to just get the website ChatGPT. But other topics, again, within your niche. So if you're a barber, if you overload your content with sort of barber keywords for SEO, make your videos about it. Chances are when people are searching you on Google, you can show up at the top of the feed. And if you make the hook, the visual hook, very appealing, chances are you're at the top of Google because you've keyword, you've focused on the SEO, you've made a brilliant visual hook, you've made it really appealing to whoever's going to be checking it out. Boom, you start getting massive discoverability because of how Google are integrating this now. So of course it matters for SEO, social merging, and short form content. and making sure your short form content is keyword optimized as well, otherwise you are losing that discoverability. And then, as I say, making sure those first couple of seconds, so that when they're almost like the thumbnail or the like GIF, like the preview of the video, is engaging. You imagine just seeing somebody cutting hair, and then you imagine seeing flames popping out everywhere, and he's got like Edward Scissorhands all over the place. I don't know, I'd be very inclined to click on that video, and of course incorporate that for whatever your niche or field is. I'll finish up on this one, guys, and then I'll definitely jump back into the chat, answer any questions. I know we're all here helping Maya, making sure that she has a lovely welcome into the UK, and of course we've got X-War, who's going to all the best places in the UK, it seems, man. You're on a proper trek at the moment. So again, mentioning a couple of quick wins that you can include within your content, just to make sure that you're taking full advantage of Google's AI and video integrations moving forward, is just including spoken keywords within the first couple of seconds. So again, if you're speaking on the UK, for example, or if you're speaking on psychology or analytics, can't remember what it was now, Maya, I do apologise. Whatever you're speaking on, include it within the first 3 seconds, because you're calling out your audience immediately. You're mentioning, if anybody's got an interest in cars and you're mentioning a V12 motor within the first 3 seconds, going to be like, oh, I love V12 motors, and they'll go into it. Adding sort of searchable titles like, you know, how to, best tools, that sort of thing. Again, incorporating that within your caption, but also within your video. As I mentioned, they're transcribing it. So what words you're saying within the videos are also being used to be pushed out onto Google's AI's video, onto Google AI's video search. So you'll come up to the top of the feed, and then repurposing sort of your top blog posts. So of course, everybody knows when you're writing a blog post, potentially even LinkedIn articles, that sort of thing, it's keyword heavy. The good sort of copywriters know, boom, 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 shoving all of the keywords so they're coming to the top. With your good friend AI, repurpose the blog post into a short form video and just ensure that the first couple of seconds are keyword heavy, maximise it. Right, I want to jump back into these chats. I've lost it a little bit here, so give me 2 seconds. We've got Maya. Can I find any social friends here? Yeah, true, Birmingham's a long drive, done that. WhatsApp is okay for me. Could you please give me your number? So I don't hand out my number on these lives just because I've had a couple of incidences in the past. But by all means, if you want to hit us up on Instagram, they'll all be in the description of this video, and you can shoot us DM whenever, and I'm sure I can point you in the right direction for some other communities that you can join, so that wherever you live, as I mentioned, Maya, if you're comfortable saying it, let us know whereabouts in the UK, you know, West Midlands, East Midlands, that sort of thing, and tell us roughly where, so we can point you in the right direction. Export, I found that words never really made that much of a difference on YouTube Shorts. So what's happening now with a lot of them is they are getting a lot better at optimizing for the search results, especially YouTube, obviously with it being owned by Google. They're trying to find different ways to make it easier to be discovered, because what they want is for smaller channels, starting channels, to be able to be found. They want to provide people with exactly what they want, especially Google, because you've got to think right now, I don't think they're scared, but Google are going to be looking at ChatGPT thinking, crap, we're in a bit of a competition here. Look, they're coming for the search space as a whole. I know people will show me the analytics of it's like 1 in 7 searches. I do think ChatGPT is focusing on the innovation side of things first. I think if they turn around and start looking at the search engine space just on its own, it's not going to take them too long to work out what they need to do. But it's with everything that I say, guys, don't just take my word for it. Test it within your content, test it within your own videos, so that you can see whether it works for you, whether it brings you in more clients, whether it brings you in more engagement, more exposure, because what works for one person might not necessarily work for the other. These are just a couple of key things that I've taken out of the updates that they're doing today to use and test within my content, and of course my clients' content as well, to make sure that they're being found as soon as possible. Thank you. Could I have your Instagram or WhatsApp number or Telegram ID? As I mentioned, Maya, if you hit the description below this video, any of my past videos, you'll find my IG on there. That won't be a problem. How's it going, Sean? I hope you're good. R1408, as a mouthful. AI is walking so that quantum computers can run. Maybe. That's probably a little bit out of more depth, mate, to be completely honest with you. I ain't really got a clue what quantum computer is, but it all seems really good. I think there's two sides to it at the moment, and there's the optimists and there's the pessimists, like there is with every other sort of innovation or new feature or new tool, whatever it is that's out there. There's going to be people that are scared of it. There's going to be people that are really excited for it. I lean a lot more on the side of optimism because it's coming either way. AI is coming, whether we like it. It's here, let's be honest. It's already here. But you think of how long it took for the initial tool to come into place and then using it to its optimum sort of potential years down the line. I think AI is still... I'm trying to think of comparison. You hear a lot of analogies through some of the content that I listen to, but I think like AI is still currently at like the horse and wagon sort of stage. We've got a lot more to see in a couple of years, and once people start getting their head around it and new things start building up, it's going to be crazy to see what's going to happen. If I want to be honest, I am scared a little bit by the UK people. I want to know your real culture. Yeah, don't be scared. Honestly, don't like. I think UK gets a big bad rep because of certain cities and certain things that are going on. It's not bad at all. It's like most places. If you're in a nice place, you're in a nice place. If you're in a not so nice place, you try and avoid those places, or just try and, you know, learn the area that you're in first. That's a lie. We're friendly as anything, man. Like again, it all depends on what your personal experiences are, but I've never been sort of like walking down the street and just randomly someone's like horrible or anything like that. Like most people are friendly, most people are polite. If you're looking for directions, if you're trying to find somewhere or, you know, meet up with people, especially if it's like-minded people that have got the similar interests to you. Yeah, you won't have an issue, honestly. I would not overthink it. I'd just probably start doing a little bit of research onto exactly where you're going to be moving and what sort of community events are there. Yeah, the family and friends, that's good. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. So don't overthink it. Honestly, we ain't all bad. And the final segment is I always saw 2. Have you guys been seeing some of the videos that this thing has been pumping out? Now, this is looking, from what I can see and from the articles that I'm reading, go to Wetherspoons, you'll learn the culture, bang on. What we're looking at now at the moment is basically like a social media platform that is solely centered around AI, and it's truly looking like OpenAI are just going to open it as it's just full social media. Now, at the moment, I think it's all in the sort of hype stage. So a lot of the stuff that's being pumped out is, you know, sort of like comedic things. I've seen like tons and tons and tons and tons of Pikachu like videos, and Pikachu being in like every film imaginable. And because I think what OpenAI did is they put it out there and they said, we're not copyrighting anything. Until you contact us, we're not copyrighting anything. So you could do everything that you wanted to do. You could sit there and make Pikachu. You could sit there and make Disney characters, all this sort of stuff. OpenAI weren't copyrighting anything until people got directly in touch with them. But it's going to shift. As I say, at the moment, people are just excited by if any of you have seen it, the graphics are one thing, but the audio of it as well is just truly insane. Yeah, so they've changed it now. As I say, companies have started to get in touch, but OpenAI, when they first released Sora, I can't remember if it's Sora 2 or Sora 2.0, but it's basically Sora 2. When they first released it, they openly said, we're not copyrighting anything. If people put in Pikachu, Mario, Sonic, Toy Story, whatever, if people put that in and create it, we ain't copyrighting it, we ain't doing nothing unless you get in touch with us. So I think, who is it that owns Pikachu? Can't remember, but whoever basically owned Pikachu, they like jumped on it up straight away, because people were obviously smashing it for the first like hour or two, and then all of a sudden it come up like an alert, like, no, you can't make this video, or you can't do this because there's a copyright infringement. But for the first couple of hours, there was nothing. They just said it's free game until companies start getting in touch with us. So But now they're starting to push it towards as being its own sort of central social media platform. Yeah, so I think I'd have to say, I didn't really play about with the character side of things. I played about with, I was trying to get a little bit ahead and finding out ways I could post content talk about myself. So I made a couple of videos on there. But yeah, so ultimately you could create what you wanted when it very first started, because they, like I said, they weren't putting any copyright things on there, they weren't putting any trademark things on there. It was free game. Like whatever you put into that the prompt creator, it was going to make. But as companies started to get in touch, so say companies were seeing tons and tons of Pikachu videos. I say Pikachu because that's literally all I was seeing when I went on the thing. But if companies were seeing loads and loads of their mascot or their logo or things that they didn't want other people to have access to, they could get in touch with OpenAI, and then OpenAI would cut it out completely. But for the first couple of hours, that just wasn't happening whatsoever. Lots of people just had so much space to just create whatever they wanted. And of course, and I've not seen anything bad at the moment. I've not seen anything too bad. Now, bear in mind, I don't search for that sort of stuff because I don't really like the, let's say, the dark side of AI where it creates weird, like, yeah, weird stuff. I'm just going to leave it at that. You guys can use your imagination of weird stuff. I don't tend to search for that sort of stuff, and I haven't seen much of it. So I do believe that the guidelines and how they were, the guardrails, seem to be pretty well structured. But again, I'm going to say that and I'm going to get flooded with like videos of people doing X, Y, Z. I don't look for it, so I don't come across it. But I'm sure if you went searching, you'd probably find some less entertaining stuff, we'll put it that way. That's how I'm imagining it'll go. But what I would be doing right now, getting onto this platform and trying to find out ways where you can create educate. I think the entertainment side when it comes to AI content is easier. You've only got to throw in a couple of funny things, a little bit of a funny storyline, and OpenAI's model is very good at coming up with its own idea. Nice fact there from Southwest Carpenter. Appreciate it. So it's quite good at coming up. It's quite good at filling in the blanks. With a lot of other softwares, you've got to be extremely specific. If you want anything at all, you have to be so specific and so nitty-picky. And I want the gold trim, and I want this. Whereas, as I say, OpenAI's models are pretty good at just coming up with the ideas themselves and sort of free-flowing it. And that is why it's going to be very good to see how the shift from that goes from entertainment to like value-driven content, especially if they're going to host it as their own internal social media platform. It's going to be very good to see the first sort of innovators on that platform. I'd imagine it's gonna be people that are heavy in the AI content creation space. I only tend to touch on it a little bit. Well, I touch on it quite a bit because of how heavy AI has a power on content creation at the moment. But there's people that live, eat, breathe, like know everything there is to know about this sort of stuff, and it's going to be very interesting to see how they start applying it. Where do you think AI will be in 10 years' time? I honestly, R140, I couldn't tell you, because it's moving that fast. It'd be almost impossible to judge it, because as soon as they get more advancement in AI, that like quadruples the advancement of the next set of AI, because they've got models that they can keep running it. And a couple of people that I listen to and the content that I consume within the AI space is ultimately the test that they have for AI. They have to keep changing the test, because it learns so quick. It literally learns that quick that you run a test through it learns, oh, okay, this is all I have to do the test. So then they have to change it completely, and then that obviously messes with the results a little bit. So it's quite, yeah, it's scary, but it's just cool, because ultimately it's not going to stop. I think it's just got to be used well. But I don't know, I always get like sci-fi movie vibes when I talk about AI. I feel like, especially, has anybody seen the video of, I can't remember, Elon Musk's robot, the Gen something, and someone's teaching it cry? Now that I don't, why a robot that's made of metal, that is already like getting smart, why are we teaching it to fight? Why? All we got to teach you to fold for. You don't need to know how to fold. It can roll it, it can lift stuff, it can help me move the washing machine. Sound? Don't need to know how to fold. Don't know like that. Like, as soon as they start moving into like now they're security guards, it's like, oh, okay, great. And now they have the ability to kill me. Like now they have the ability to like hurt people. I don't know that. So that's where draw the line. Don't teach them to fight. Don't teach them violence. Leave that out of it. Can anybody else be friends with me for sharing our culture, know about medicine, disease, and can help you too? I'm going to start looking into this tonight. Definitely start looking into it. X-War, it's wicked. Are you from Germany? Nah, not from Germany. I'm from the UK, man. Oh, they sound German. Look German. Sound German. Don't know. First time I've been called German, I'll say that one. So, cars soon. Yeah, I think the self-driving cars one, there'll be a massive amount of pushback on that from governments plainly because of how much money is, how many like, sort of Uber drivers and things like that there are. And then I think there'll be other like nitty gritty things again if you wanted to get into it. Like how does like things like insurance work? How does fail safes work? Like if it's gonna crash into a tram and it's gonna potentially kill the passenger, or it curbs it to get away from the tram and it's gonna kill 5 other people. How are things like that gonna work? Like humans are instinctively gonna save themselves, so an Uber driver is just gonna turn, hits 5 people on the road, it hits 5 people on the road, he's saving himself and he's saving the passenger. How's AI going to do with that sort of thing? So, and then as I mentioned, insurance. Like if an AI driver hits an AI driver and they're both hurt, who gets sued? Who gets the money and who? What? So I think there's loads of things in between. I'm scared about the UK, unfortunately. I wish I could find the true way for my position. God. As I say, the best thing you can do is find out exactly where you're going to be relocating to, and just finding a couple of communities that you can engage with there, either online before you move or in person, so you can get there, so you can land and you have a place to go straight away. So, gone a little bit over on this one. I think the chat's been quite good. Good couple of questions. I do just want to say for the self-driving cars still have problems that they can't fit. That's why legally they have to call it driver-assisted driving, not self-driving. Yeah, I think again the legalities around everything's going to be a massive nightmare for whoever comes up with the best software. It's going to be proving that it's absolute, and that of course takes testing. And how do you test if they won't let you implement it? So there's going to be loads of things. There's going to be loads of cool, different things. I would love a self-driving car. I'll be completely honest. I would take that straight away, because I get so annoyed at driving because I can't be on my phone and I can't do stuff. I've just got to sort of sit there and And I'm not one of those that likes to drive and be on his phone because, well, one, I'm not going to publicly admit it anyway because I get arrested. But look, it's not. I don't know, you hear too many people like crashing and silly things happening to like just jump on the phone for 3 seconds and then they hit someone, and it's not for me. I wouldn't do it. So usually I have like an overall, so almost like an evergreen like topic to hit, so like general news, but this has run on quite a bit, I think, because the chat's been going really well. We've obviously been helping Maya. I hope we've been helping Maya. We've been discussing a couple of different things with you guys, so I think I'll just close this off now. So of course, the overall thing that we've touched on for today was the ASOS live. So anybody within the fashion, within the designer, within the clothing niche, definitely go and check that out now and see ways that you can adapt it to your brand, whether it's improving your product, whether it's bringing you more traffic, that every customer drives and learns everything, it all goes to the data center and all that. Yeah, Tesla's going to be the front runner of all of it, let's be honest, for that side of things, without a shadow of a doubt. So the ASOS Live, if you're, as I mentioned, even if you're in the e-com space, similar to the clothing brand, it's going to be worth for. I appreciate that, X-War, truly do, mate. Thank you. It's going to be worth going and checking out. So that's ASOS Live, Google's AI. So this is just, again, the fact that your short form videos, your content can now be discovered within the search bar. So you want to be making sure that you're optimizing it. That's optimizing the keywords that you actually say in the video, as well as the captions, making them almost like a mini article or a mini blog post, so that you are keyword rich. So anybody searching anything to do with your niche, with your business, you're going to pop up on top of Google search bar. And then of course we just had a bit of a discussion on OpenAI's new Sora and how that's going to be sort of looking to be pushed to a social app, and how ultimately AI is moving all together. So this has been my live, just a couple of key topics that I've touched on. I do these twice a week, and I just sort of pick the topics that I've found interesting, that I think other people find interesting, try and attack it a couple of ways, how you can use it to grow your brand, to grow your business, to get more either feet through your door or clicks on your link. And I think we've hit a couple. This ASOS live is going to be a massive one. I might even go check that out now whilst I got food on. Go and check my food now. So if you guys liked it, of course, like, subscribe. I don't know if you subscribe, it might send you an alert when I do a live. I'm still testing different things out. I'm still testing different times. I'm still testing a load of different content out. So if you see it pop up, jump in. Feel free to jump into the chat. I appreciate anybody that spends 1 second to the entire length of the live here, because you've took time out of your day to come and interact with my content, to watch my content, and you're supporting the channel, which I truly appreciate. If there's any content topics you'd like me to dive into more, if there's anything you would like to see, just comment on any of the videos. I'm watching the comments every single time. And of course, let's go out there and win. I appreciate all of you guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening or morning, depending on where you're watching from, and take care.